side score, and we are Q1 in the impact factor.
Okay, okay.
And Q1 and side score on the top 9% of the journals in strategy. So
Right.
our statistics are high. Anyway, I don't want to bother you with the journal. Do your job and
Mm-hmm.
call me whenever you need me, right? I will be here.
Yeah, sure. Sure, Cleopat. Thank you, thank you.
And many apologies, I cannot be there in person. It's just very difficult to travel that much.
No, it is. And I think with the technology being there, if it can be done remotely, I think that's the second best option.
Yeah, it's not the same because you don't get to know the people, but
Yes. No, what we will do is we'll try and show you the audience when your speech starts. And what we will also do is we'll have your tile displayed on the screen here. So audience will
good.
also be able to see you.
And
So
you have it streamed.
yeah, we have a electronic display board. So we are actually
Okay.
displaying currently on the display board, and people who are in the room are able to see you now on the screen.
Excellent.
And
Hello, everybody, then.
hello on behalf of
So see
everybody.
you,
Hello,
see
ma'am.
you soon.
Yeah.
Hello,
Yes,
So
see you
ma'am.
soon.
we'll show the audience when you are about to speak. Okay.
Excellent. So
So
I'm
that you can.
leaving you to it because you are very busy.
Yeah,
Thank you
sure,
so
sure.
much for your time,
Sure.
and thank you for the honor to invite me.
No, but what time you will be joining back? Is it or you are going on mute now?
No, I will just turn off my camera and my microphone to let you do the job, and I will be in the
Okay.
background. So
Yeah.
anytime
Okay.
you
All right.
want me, yeah?
Sure.
No, I'm not leaving. I will be here.
No, that's fine. Thank you. So, uh, I'll introduce you, and then you can begin your speech
Anytime
later
you
on
want, I will
later
be
on in the
here.
session. Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
I'm
Sure,
leaving you
Cleopatra.
to do whatever you need to do.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good.
निखिल सर आ
हाँ,
गए
निखिल।
रजिस्टर
अच्छा बस फिर उसके बाद आप बता देना कब शुरू करना है और सबको बता दो लेट एवरीबॉडी लिसन मैं भी बोल दूं हेलो कैन यू हियर मी may I request
Yes,
everyone to
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Your voice is audible.
okay all right thank you so much thank you
Okay.
I request everyone to take their seats, please. सब लोग से निवेदन है कि अपना स्थान ग्रहण करें. Online participants, you are able to hear me, right?
Yes, sir, you are audible to us.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Request everyone to take their seats, please.
Screen share जब required है
Stop share. अभी इसको ऑन नहीं रखें. वो ब्लैंक दिखेगा ना फिर. ठीक है. आप स्वयं हमको बताएं. स्वयं
ठीक है वैसे इनसे सबकी बात कर रही है ठीक है ठीक है
कब शुरू करना बता. Get started. Robert Swan, the first person to walk both the North Pole and South Pole, once said, "The greatest threat to our planet is the belief that someone else will save it." Whether it is saving the planet or a business, sustainability has attained center stage for sure. And the onus is on us and not on someone else to do it. Indeed, sustainability and business growth now are intertwined, and in the present terms they are not mutually exclusive, but they are on the same side of the coin. Okay, two sides of the same coin. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Asim Purohit from the Faculty of Management, and on behalf of all of us at Vivekananda Global University, a very warm welcome to all of you present here and those who have joined online. VGU's International Conference SIPAM 2.0 on Sustainability, Innovation Practices and Advancements in Management is what we have today and tomorrow. And we would like to extend a special welcome to our dignitaries and thank them for gracing this event with their presence. Co-founder of Apple, Steve Jobs, once said, "Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower." Thus, organizations that are aspiring to be leaders in the times to come need to build their organizations on innovation, leveraging technological advancements that are taking place, and best practices in management. So much so that where every decision, whether it's big or small, that are taken in an organization, that need to pass through the lens of sustainability. The edifice of successful cooperation and leaders of tomorrow is likely to be built on the foundation of some of these pillars that I talked about. The Faculty of Management of Vivekananda Global University is organizing this two-day international conference SIPAM 2.0 today and tomorrow with an aim to bring together academicians, practitioners, researchers, policymakers, people from industry and doctoral scholars to achieve two objectives. The first one of them is explore how sustainability and innovation can be embedded across functional areas of management. And the second one is encourage critical reflection on how organizations can balance economic performance with social equity and technology and environmental stewardship, leveraging advancements both in technology and management. The ceremonial lighting of the lamp symbolizes the triumph of knowledge over ignorance and the illumination of wisdom. As we begin this international conference, may this divine flame guide us towards clarity, purpose, and enlightened thought. May I now request all the dignitaries present here to please come forward for lighting of the lamp. Mr. Harmeet Singh sir, Ms. Ritu Chandra ma'am, Mr. Somen Mathur sir, Mr. M.R. Bagadia sir, Dr. Lalit K. Pawar sir, Dr. Praveen Chaudhary sir, Dr. Baldev sir,
या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करप्रभृतिः
निःशेषजाड्यापहा शुक्लां ब्रह्मविचारसारपरमाम् आद्यां जगद्व्यापिनीम् वीणापुस्तकधारिणीम् अभयदाम् जाड्यान्धकारापहाम् हस्ते स्फाटिकमालिकां विदधतीम्
Thank you. I would now like to request Mr. M.R. Bagaria sir, patron VGU, to felicitate our chief guest, Mr. Harmeet Singh sir. Thank you, sir. I now request Dr. Lalit K. Pawar, sir, Chairperson of Vivekananda Global University, to felicitate our guest of honor, Ms. Ritu Chandrana. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. We would also like to extend a very warm welcome to Mr. Somir Mathur, sir, who is a keynote speaker. He is joined online. Welcome, sir. Also, we would like to welcome Professor Cleopatra Velutsu, who is a professor of brand management at Adam Smith Business School, University of Glasgow, who has joined us online today from Glasgow. Welcome, ma'am. May I now invite Registrar of Vivekananda Global University, Dr. Praveen Chaudhary, sir, for his welcome address. Sir.
Good morning, everyone. So, at the outset, I would like to welcome our Honorable Chief Guest, Harmeet ji, our guest of honor, Ritu ma'am, Honorable Vice Chairperson, Vice Chairperson not here, Honorable Chairperson sir of VGU, Honorable Patron sir, our Deans, Associate Dean, Faculty of Management, Director, CDOE, and my dear faculty members. Honorable speakers who have joined us, Professor Cleopatra and Professor Somir Mathur, who have joined us online. I welcome you, sir and ma'am. So very warm and heartfelt welcome to all of you to this international conference SIPAM 2.0 on sustainability, innovation, practices and advancements in management. We are all living in an era which is marked by rapid technological transformations, evolving business models, and increasing global challenges related to sustainability and inclusive growth. Organizations today are expected not only to achieve economic success but also create social value and environmental responsibility. In this context, SIPAM 2.0 serves as a timely platform for meaningful dialogue, knowledge exchange, and collaborative learnings. Because I belong to Vivekananda Global University, so I always make it a point to talk something about Swami Vivekananda also. So Swami Vivekananda talked about Karma Yoga and servant leadership. If we talk about these terms, then the entire concept of sustainability, innovation practices and advancements will have some meaning. He advocated for integrating spiritual values with professional excellence, arguing that leadership must be driven by character, ethical integrity, and selfless service rather than mere profit maximization. Any advancement which is not rooted in these values advocated by Swamiji will not be sustainable at all. We talk about Peter Drucker, we talk about Fayol, we talk about all management gurus of the world, but we never talk about Lord Krishna, who had given the most important, valuable management lessons in Bhagavad Gita. Indian scriptures are full of management lessons, but no management theory talks about those management lessons. So can we have someday some management thoughts, principles emanating from the Indian scriptures also? So this is my suggestion to Dean Management and HOD Management to organize some event about this also. We can think about these. Over the 2 days, the participants will deliberate on a whole range of contemporary themes. I am sure the participants would be excited about the panel discussions that we have. The panel discussions are navigating the gig economy leadership and ESG analytics bootcamp for emerging markets, both of which address some of the most pressing challenges and opportunities of our time. I am confident that the deliberations, presentations, and interactions during this conference will generate valuable insights and contribute to the development of innovative and sustainable solutions for organizations and society. As we commence SIPAM 2.0, let us embrace the spirit of inquiry, collaboration, and innovation. May this conference inspire new ideas, meaningful partnerships, and impactful research and contribute to a more sustainable and prosperous society. I wish all the delegates a highly enriching and productive conference experience. Thank you once again and welcome to SIPAM 2.0. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Praveen sir. I would now like to invite co-convener of the conference, Dr. Ashima Agarwal ma'am, for briefing us about the conference. Ashima ma'am.
Thank you so much, Asim sir. Very good morning to everyone. And I'll start with a very simple saying that it is not the most strongest or the most intelligent who survives, but those who can adapt to change. In many ways, this quote captures the spirit of SIPAM 2.0. We are living in a world where artificial intelligence is transforming industries, sustainability is becoming a business necessity, and innovation is no longer a choice but a requirement. Organizations today are expected not only to create economic value, but also social and environmental value. It is the intersection of sustainability, innovation, and responsible management that forms the foundation of SIPAM 2.0. SIPAM was envisioned as a platform where researchers, academicians, industry leaders, policymakers, and students can come together to exchange ideas, challenge assumptions, and collectively capture the future of management. We are proud that this vision has received support from ANRF and ICCR sponsorship along with import sponsorship, reflecting the relevance and significance of the conversations taking place here. In this conference, over the next 2 days, we will hear from distinguished speakers from India, UK, UAE, and we will engage with research and ideas across 8 important tracks, including AI, ESG and sustainable finance, digital leadership, technology and innovation, entrepreneurship, marketing, supply chain, and future of higher education. But let me tell you, SIPAM is not about presentations and papers. It is about conversations in between sessions, new collaboration, fresh perspective, and the possibility that one idea shared may spark a new research project, a new partnership, or even a new way of thinking. I welcome all keynote speakers, session chairs, presenters, delegates, guests, and thank you for being a part of SIPAM 2.0. I wish you 2 days of meaningful learning, insightful discussions, and valuable networking. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ashima ma'am. It's my honor to now invite patron of Vivekananda Global University, Mr. M.R. Bagaria sir, for his address. Sir.
Good morning to all. Respected guests, eminent scholars, esteemed academicians, industry leaders, researchers, and all participants joining us both physically and virtually. It gives me immense pleasure and pride to welcome all to second International Conference on Sustainability, Innovation, Practices, and Advancement in Management, SIPAM 2.0. Organized by the Faculty of Management at Vivekananda Global University, Jaipur. These 4 words that taken together are no longer optional for organizations. They are the operating system for survival and relevance in a rapidly transforming world. आज हम एक ऐसे दौर में खड़े हैं जहां परिवर्तन केवल तेज नहीं है बल्कि निरंतर है। ऐसे समय में इनोवेशन केवल विकास का माध्यम नहीं बल्कि भविष्य निर्माण की अनिवार्यता बन चुका है। वहीं सस्टेनेबिलिटी अब केवल एक वैश्विक चर्चा का विषय नहीं बल्कि हमारी जिम्मेदारी और प्रतिबद्धता है। हमें ऐसा विकास सुनिश्चित करना होगा जो केवल आर्थिक समृद्धि तक सीमित न रहे बल्कि सामाजिक समानता एवं पर्यावरणीय संतुलन को भी साथ लेकर चले। देखिए, भारतीयों की एक बहुत बड़ी खासियत है, भारतीय नाक की सीट में सीधे चलते हैं, दाएं बाएं नहीं देखते हैं। जब भी कोई किसी को देखते हैं तो उसकी नकल बहुत फास्ट करते हैं, उसका क्या रिजल्ट होगा इस पर ध्यान नहीं देते। अगर पड़ोसी ने गाड़ी खरीदी है तो मुझे भी गाड़ी खरीदनी है, पैसे से कहीं से लेना है, किस रेट पे लेना है, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता। 2000 में इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेजेस राजस्थान में परमिट की शुरू हुई और अगले 5-10 साल में ऐसी बाढ़ आई कि आज 125 से ज्यादा कॉलेजेस होगी, यूनिवर्सिटीज होगी। इसके ऊपर ने तो कॉलेज जो लाने वाले थे उन्होंने सोचा और नहीं सरकार ने सोचा कि इतनी कॉलेज का अल्टीमेटली होगा क्या वायबिलिटी होगी इनकी, ये चल पाएगी, कैसी एजुकेशन देगी और अगर देगी वायबल भी होगी, जो बच्चे यहाँ से इतने निकल करके बाहर आएंगे उनका क्या होगा, उनके बारे में किसी ने कुछ नहीं सोचा। एक ही सोचा कि साउथ में बहुत बड़ी यूनिवर्सिटियां है, कॉलेजेस हैं, बाहर जाते हैं बच्चे पढ़ने के लिए, बहुत फीस देते हैं, कमाई बहुत है, खोलते दो। इसी तरीके से बात करें, सोलर का काम शुरू हुआ तो देखते ही देखते सोलर की बाढ़ आ गई, बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियां आ गई, लेकिन ये किसी ने नहीं सोचा कि सोलर लगेगा तो कितनी प्लांटेशन, जो पेड़ है बड़े बड़े जो 20-20, 30-30, 40-40 साल पुराने पेड़ है, वो पेड़ कितने कटेंगे, उनका कटने से एनवायरनमेंट में क्या इफेक्ट होगा, आबादी से कितने दूर लगेंगे वो, आबादी पे क्या प्रभाव पड़ेगा, पॉपुलेशन क्या प्रभाव पड़ेगा, और उससे जो हीट जनरेट होगी उसका आने वाली जनरेशन में क्या प्रभाव होगा, इसके बारे में भी किसी ने कोई नहीं सोचा। केवल एक ही सोचा कि हमें सोलर लगाने हैं, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी पैदा करनी है, उसकी हमें कमी है। तो आज की जो कॉन्फ्रेंस है सस्टेनेबल इनोवेशन, बिना इनोवेशन के कुछ नहीं हो सकता। लेकिन हमें हमारे जो नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज हैं आज जो भी हैं, उनका हमें यूटिलाइजेशन ऐसा करना चाहिए कि आने वाली हमारी जो पीढ़ी है उसके लिए रिसोर्सेज की कमी नहीं रहे। ऐसा नहीं होगा आज हम उनका इतना मदद करते हैं कि आने वाली पीढ़ी के लिए कुछ भी नहीं छोड़े। अगर ऐसा हम करते हैं तो वो सस्टेनेबिलिटी नहीं हो सकती। उस चीज का हमें ध्यान रखना होगा, जब भी हम आगे बढ़ पाएंगे, नहीं तो हम आगे नहीं बढ़ पाएंगे। SIPAM 2.0 has been envisioned as an intellectual platform where ideas meet action, research meets practice, and academia collaborates meaningfully with industry. This conference seeks to create a vibrant environment for critical discussions on sustainable business practices, emerging innovations, ethical leadership, digital transformation, and responsible management for the future. मुझे विश्वास है कि यह सम्मेलन न केवल ज्ञान के आदान प्रदान का मंच बनेगा, बल्कि नए विचारों, सहयोगों और इनोवेटिव सॉल्यूशन को जन्म देगा, जो आने वाले समय में समाज, उद्योग, शिक्षा जगत के लिए मार्गदर्शक सिद्ध होंगे। जब विभिन्न दृष्टिकोण एक मंच पर मिलते हैं तब नई संभावनाएं जन्म लेती हैं, और यही SIPAM 2.0 की आत्मा है। At Vivekanand Global University Jaipur, we take pride in nurturing a culture of academic excellence, research orientation, entrepreneurship, and innovation, with a strong commitment towards quality education and a learner-centric approach. Viju has emerged as a distinguished institution of higher learning education, accredited with NAAC A+. Our values of integrity, accountability, transparency, quality, and empathy continue to shape every initiative we undertake. The Faculty of Management, through its commitment to excellence, has successfully nurtured thousands of competent professionals who are contributing significantly across industries and sectors. We believe education must go beyond classrooms. It should empower individuals to become problem solvers, innovators, and responsible leaders of tomorrow. हम केवल गुणवत्तापूर्ण शिक्षा और अनुसंधान तक सीमित नहीं हैं, बल्कि समाज की वास्तविक चुनौतियों के समाधान खोजने के लिए भी प्रतिबद्ध हैं। सतत विकास और नवाचार तभी सार्थक है जब उनका लाभ समाज के अंतिम व्यक्ति तक पहुंचे। मेरा मानना है कि सार्थक परिवर्तन समाज, सहयोग और साझा दृष्टिकोण को से ही संभव होता है। As we gather here over the courses of this conference, I encourage all participants to engage wholeheartedly, to exchange ideas, challenge conventional thinking, build collaborations, and collectively envision a future that is innovative, inclusive, and sustainable. आइए हम सब मिलकर SIPAM 2.0 को केवल एक सम्मेलन नहीं, बल्कि एक ऐसे आंदोलन का रूप दें जो इनोवेशन विथ रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी और सस्टेनेबिलिटी विथ पर्पस की भावना को आगे बढ़ाए। I once again extend my heartfelt welcome to all delegates and wish this conference grand success. May the discussions, deliberations, and insights shared here inspire transformative ideas and shape the management wisdom of tomorrow. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sir. It's my honor to now invite Chairperson of Vivekananda Global University, Dr. Lalit K. Pawar, sir, for his address. Sir.
हाथ भी मिलाएगा।
That's better. Yeah, sure. How about that? थोड़ा सा ऊपर कर।
Am I audible? Audible? Chal. जैसे all those that ask the अब आप सबको मेरा नमस्कार, गुड मॉर्निंग, चीफ गेस्ट, गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर, our patron and our guest sir, our staff colleagues, colleagues, these SIPAM senior faculty members, distinguished appointees. First of all, as chairman, I welcome you at 2.0. And our request to organizers, next time, please ensure the speakers are given free hand, literally. Because if my one hand is occupied, we cannot make communication. So point one to be noted, your lordship, is that speakers should be given, even the audience should be given a perfect ecosystem for exchange of ideas with audibility, visibility, and communication. Even the foreign. And I was just mentioning for Mr. Aslan and myself. Just for example, lighting of the lamp. It is better activity as a conference can be done. There is no lighting of the lamp, only already office. So we got a question. In addition to that, this is also fire and safety hazard, especially for BBM as government protocol also is everything. So why do we look at those innovation? This is also innovation. We are evolving and innovating every moment. And that compliment the organizers of SIPAM2.0, because when I was doing my homework for SIPAM, this address, I also point that only those innovations would become a business practice which are sustainable. We are very fortunate Indians, and I am proud to be Indian. God has given us in our DNA a very basic innovative element. I don't know if this is microbiology or complex scientific, but the fact is that Indians are the best innovators in the world. Yes, what is the best? Even at the low level, at the cutting edge level, we call it jugaad. What is jugaad? Jugaad is nothing a raw innovation at the cutting edge level by not the scientific laboratory but in situ. Where the problem is, so when you find the jugaad, it becomes a research paper in a way. So my compliments. I attended SIPAM 1.0 also. This is 2.0. And I wish many more students in future.
Hello. So your voice is not audible.
Thank you. I just forgot to welcome my guests online. Thanks for reminding. So was it Alexa? It was not Alexa. Just 2 points I'd like to share. Basically, I was a scientist with ICR. My approach is always scientific. And the approach here I would like to fact that everybody is talking about artificial intelligence.
Sorry, sir. I think online participants are actually catching the mic off the laptop. So the closer you are from here, I think they'll be able to.
So I should
explain.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay. So I was just like Mamta Banerjee. She speaks like this, so I was just. Okay, friends. Just 2 points, and I'll. Number one, everybody is talking about artificial intelligence. It's a new, it's a new tool, and it is transformational, no doubt about that. But fundamental question is AI sustainable? The kind of energy it consumes, the kind of e-waste it generates, the kind of water it uses for the entire systems, is it sustainable? Well, it is very important, it is here to stay, but we have to devise the means and means of making it sustainable. Only then it will become what we call a best practice and of course a very, very important tool. Now, yesterday I did some kind of testing the waters, something like algorithmic bias. In the crime investigation tools at the disposal of the New York police and American police Department of America,
when they go for investigation of a crime, there is a bias against the browns and the people of color. The moment they say, okay, get me the details of the, because we are investigating this murder case, cite all these forensic details, and suddenly emerges 9 out of 10 suspects are either browns or blacks. Why? This is the question of not only morality, I call it algorithmic morality. So while feeding the database, at the level of cutting edge, and in such a sensitive matter, and there was a case, very famous case in US history, very recently, a wrong man was caught based on the wrong algorithm, and based on that too. So no amount of AI, very often I say that no amount of AI can replace the HI, that is human intelligence. Idea is that, okay, you access the information. It has made our task easier. When I did my doctorate in 1998, it took me 5 years to complete my PhD since it was in service. It took me almost 6 months for my bibliography. Now it will take 6 hours, maybe not 6 hours. Just give a prompt to all these apps that we are using it, whether it's a Claude or whether it is ChatGPT or Grok or for that matter even DeepSeek. So you get your bibliography within 6 hours, which you took 6 months. So it is facilitating, but the fact remains that we have to make it sustainable, and even for management practices. And here I would like to put 2 examples. Take the success story of Amul. Amul is a global success story based on innovation, and it has really challenged the mightiest of the milk, what you call the empires, Polson dairies and all, and it has become a global case study. What was a simple model? District reporting to every farmer, reporting to district reporting to state, and it became a federation, and rest is history. Why it's evolution? We were milk deficient thanks to Amul and these kinds of model. Now we are one of the largest producers of milk in the world. So my submission would be these kinds of platforms provide us interaction of ideas, interchange of ideas, listen to the top speakers, imbibe, and then innovate. And only those practices would survive which are in fact sustainable. Sustainable from every possible point of view. And last point I would like to submit for the organizers is that SIPAM2.0 may focus on what you call is DPAM. What is DPAM? It is again an acronym which I would like to submit, and then I close. A DPAM is nothing but a dynamic innovation. So dynamic innovation practices with inherent algorithmic morality. SIPAM has to lead to DPAM, where innovation is dynamic. We are evolving every moment. So innovation is dynamic, and it has inbuilt algorithmic ethics or morality. Then this tool can become what you call is a trustworthy tool, and we can base our findings. We can initiate some follow-up action. We can go for best management practices based on clinical data without any prejudices. That is my submission as a student of science, and I wish the CPAM a great success with a lot of DPAM ideas. DPAM is basically light. So SEEP is oyster. So when you go to oyster, that is SIPAM, you get the pearl. But when you go to DPAM, you get the light. So we have to have pearls in the light of your knowledge, in the light of your ideas of exchange, and then of course we are looking forward to listening to the scholars, listening to the practitioners as a student of science, as a student of management. I am sure the students will learn, and I wish SIPAM 2.0 a grand success and excellent exchange of ideas. Thank you so much. All the best. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you, Lalit sir. Can we have a round of applause for Lalit Pawar? May I now request Registrar sir to please come forward for felicitating Mr. Mohit Solanki sir from Imports. Registrar sir, Praveen sir. Raisa sir, I would also like to invite Chaitanya Kumbar sir, Imports, to the stage for felicitation. Thank you, Praveen sir. Thank you, sirs. Cameron Sinclair, designer, writer, and one of the pioneers of socially responsible architecture, once said, "When sustainability is viewed as being a matter of survival for your business, I believe you can create massive change." Our keynote speaker today is a professor of brand management at the Adam Smith Business School, University of Glasgow. She has a number of editorial roles in academic journals and is the head of the marketing research unit of the Athens Institute of Education and Research in Greece. She holds an MBA and was awarded a PhD from the Athens University of Economics and Business. Her primary research interest is on brand management, focusing mostly on brand relationships, brand equity, the brand management structure, and the brand support in general. She has also worked in relationship marketing and marketing communications. She has published over 60 articles in these areas, and her papers have appeared in various academic journals. Since November of 2013, she is acting as an editor for the Journal of Product and Brand Management. And thereafter, from December 2019 onwards, an associate editor in marketing in the Journal of Business Research. And subsequently, from April 2024, as an associate editor of the Spanish Journal of Marketing. She is also on the editorial boards of several international academic journals, including the European Journal of Marketing, the Journal of Brand Management, Tourism Review, and the Service Theory and Practice. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our keynote speaker who has joined us online today, Professor Cleopatra Velutsu, for her keynote address. Welcome, ma'am. Ma'am, would you like to share your screen?
I am here. Thank you so much. To start with, I am speechless with all the nice things you said about me. Thank you so, so much for being so generous with your comments. I am just a learner. But before I start, I want to ask to have the permission to share, because I am asking for the permission to share my screen and I am not allowed to. So I cannot share my screen. Now I can. That's good news. We are getting there. Now, I was asked to give you a topic on research. And that's what I'm doing. I am giving you a topic that should be appropriate for all of us, or at least is very appropriate for me. It's about what kind of research focus our work should have. Should we research what I call anomalies, or should we research what I call fads? And so I have half an hour, and I try to do everything within this time. An introduction. Why I'm here? I am here not because I'm very successful. I am here because I have tried and I keep trying and I keep doing things and I keep failing for very many years. My first paper was published in 1997. I can bet that some of the audience was not even born yet. So I'm towards now the end of my career, and I have tried very hard. So the outcomes that that I have around 70 articles are not were not happened in 2 weeks, as for some people. It happened through a period of time, and this is what I feel as healthy. I'm very fortunate as well, and blessed and honored to be on the top 2% of the most cited academics, both for the last 5 years, for the year basis, but for the last 2 years also for my overall contribution to the field. So all of this make me extremely proud, because I started from Athens, from a family with no education. My father hadn't finished the primary school. My mother hadn't finished high school. And I faced the same challenges that what I understand many of the people in India also face, trying to learn without having the prior knowledge. And my main suggestion to you is read. Read a lot and try a lot, and don't be demotivated. Things take time. So I tried and I failed, and I was down and up again, and that's why I'm here. Now, what kind of research we need in business, management, marketing, sustainability, innovation? What we need to find? Before anything else, we need to understand what are the components, the building blocks of academic research. The building blocks of academic research primarily are 4. They are concepts. Concepts are things like loyalty, satisfaction, brand equity, innovativeness, and they are the building blocks of our thinking. Then it's theory. Theory, in a macro level, is the way that these concepts should be organized. It is giving us an understanding of how we should approach these concepts. I'm not going to go in a lot of detail. There is a full session on theory that I cannot cover here, but concepts and theory are 2 very different things. Then there are methods. What are methods? Methods are the ways that we engage with the concepts and the theory, how we collect data, or how we analyze existing data. And finally, there are contexts. And context is where the research is in. So, for example, is it in India? Is it in Greece? Is it in one sector or the other? Is it online? Is it offline? All of these are contexts. So when we do a piece of research, we need to consider about all of those and try to see what is innovative and what is not innovative. What good research entails? Good research needs to be original. Good research is not about saying again what somebody said, so replication. Good research is about trying to either say something new or extend what somebody else has said. It's challenging what is said, how you develop new ideas, new things, creating something that the world has not seen. And this means that doing the same thing in another context is not original and is not a real contribution. You need to think of something slightly new and slightly different. So how can you find this something that is slightly new or slightly different? You can find this thing that is new or different by looking for anomalies. And what is the anomaly? The anomaly is something that is unexpected. So it's important, we don't know it, or it's unexpected in various ways. And what are these ways? We observe something different. So for example, we observe companies working more with sustainability, while in the past they did not. That was something that started happening around 20 years ago now. That was an anomaly. And then researchers started working on this anomaly. In my field, that is brand management, some researchers understood and realized that consumers form groups around brands. And they call these groups, especially when these groups get a social structure, brand communities. That was a big anomaly that started a huge stream of research. So an anomaly is something that is different than something what we know. Something that's unusual that we don't expect, or findings that are inconsistent. Half of the studies say that, and the other half of the study says something else. So all these aspects constitute anomalies. And this paradox, puzzles, or unknown things make a good start for research. So how do you think about these anomalies? You are trying to see how big this anomaly is, how important it is for practice. The larger the anomaly, the more important for practice, the higher the need to research. Those anomalies that become more stable, we become trends. And these trends, if they become stable trends, they will become the new normal. So for example, sustainability started something like a little bit off 20 years ago. Everybody was thinking about other things. Later on, because of the environment, because of a number of things, became the normal. So now nobody can say that sustainability is a trend. It is the norm. It is something expected from companies. So encounter difficulties, challenges, and anomalies help our evolution of conceptual thinking and our research. Now, what is important to consider is that anomaly and trend are not necessarily the same. Anomaly is something that is happening and is inconsistent from what we expected. Trend is something sustained, recognizable, and moves over time, and it can be long-lived or short-lived. Short-lived trends are fads. Trends change how we live, but fads change what we buy this weekend and sometimes don't last for more than a weekend. The problem I see as an editor in the journal, reading more than 1,500 articles a year, the journal receives 1,200 papers a year, is that very many papers focus on fads rather than anomalies and trends. And these fads or trend-driven research is problematic because it makes very little sense. Why focusing on short-term immediate things and being followed in conferences from researchers asking for these trends is problematic? There are 6 important aspects that make this trend-driven, short-lived trend research difficult. Let's go through each one of them separately. The first one is that trends privilege novelty over relevance, which means that in many cases, people check what is new, analyze what is new, but know what is important for the society, for companies, for anybody external. So they are running around metaverse, Web3, virtual influencers in my case, but they forget that we need to think about the value creation, experience, meaning. So the focus is on the trend and not on the thing that could really benefit companies and benefit our thinking. The second big problem is that short-term phenomena make long-term brand building and company building problematic. In this year, I realized at some point I'm receiving too many papers on virtual influencers in the journal. So in April, I got totally upset and I said, okay, I need to sit down and see what is the situation. And I checked the first 50 papers that were submitted in April 2026 with the topic of virtual influencers. 9 of them, 18% of them, of the papers submitted were in virtual influencers. Now, personally, I don't think that the virtual influencers is the most important topic on planet Earth. It was the first topic overall. However, so many researchers research on virtual influencers. I don't know many companies doing it. Some companies do, but they are not the majority. I don't think that it is the most hot topic. I don't think that this has so much relevance. However, still, 18% of the papers submitted are in virtual influencers. Why this happened? Because many people thought that this is a hot topic, thought that this needs to be researched, and rather than thinking what is important for companies, move to what it is hot. Before that, a couple of years ago, I had the same situation with metaverse. Everything was about metaverse. Today, we know well that less than 1% of the population of Earth actually uses metaverse. So the problem we have is that we work on these hot topics and we forget what is important, what is not important for companies and for reality. Third, superficial theorization. Trend chasing encourages you to see what is happening and not why. So you end up being very descriptive with no depth. You don't give insights on how companies can work when TikTok is not going to be as popular, or Facebook that is not anymore so popular. You are focusing on the short-term thing description, and you ignore the longer and more deep thinking or research in branding or strategy or in any other topic. Fragments the field. I read things that I have read in other areas or in other contexts a lot. So rather than talk about brand trust in the metaverse or brand trust in TikTok, or is the brand trust in TikTok going to be different than brand trust in general? But they haven't even read the literature on brand trust. They don't know what we know. So in the greater topic, so I see fragmentation and a different research for pet influencers rather than for beauty influencers, which makes no sense. So people stop reading, stop thinking about the roots, psychology, sociology, semiotics, theory, consumer behavior, and focus on the very, very small area that it's not really what enhances knowledge. Methodological convenience over fit. In the last few years, I see very many papers on big data, for example. This is the data we have, this is what we did, without realizing that data is important. Nobody questions that, but the most important thing is the gap in knowledge and the relevance of the gap in knowledge. So rather than focusing on what needs to be known, the researchers are focusing on what they can produce. And the answers sometimes are not relevant for the industry. Everything is about data rather than about the need to do research on a specific aspect that will help thinking overall. Finally, there is a neglect of context about the conditions, and that's very important. I see very many papers, especially coming from your part of the world, focusing on contexts. So many papers focus on green brands only. And my questioning, are brands that use as a positioning green going to be different than other brands that use as a positioning friendly, let's say, or online, offline, or country contexts? All this research on country, sector, or sustainability only, in most journals, are not seen as significant gaps in knowledge. If you want to publish on those, you need to go to journals that focus on these topics. We are looking for more holistic things and bringing the country or the sector or the approach as a good example of this thing. So, for example, identity development and using green brands to develop your identity. So all the thinking of how we do research needs to be different to get through the desk reject in good journals. We need to remember that the more we go for hot topics, the more short-lived is our research. I do remember I was there when everybody was coming to conferences talking about Second Life consumer identity. And they were telling me that everybody will move to Second Life. And we work there and we have a profile there. And that was 15 years ago. The same with so many other things. Social media branding. Social media was about to change everything. Again, context specific. What is hot once, later on is forgotten. And you don't put a signature on your field if you focus only on hot topics. My suggestion to all researchers is to position their research as in a different way, theory-driven, longitudinal reflection, and relevant to audiences. So make sure that companies or consumers or the government will use that and build your name around a specific concept rather than on what is hot today. How this thing creates value for some sort of members of the ecosystem, actors over time. Management should be a science of physical and mental availability and not about fad research. Context-driven research is fragile and builds on trends. Concept-driven research is durable, based on concepts, and stands for a long time. You need to think about theory, relationships, mechanism, evidence, read a lot, and read a lot in a narrow area rather than in many areas. Write all your papers in a sub-area. Almost all my papers, with the exception of less than a handful, are in brand management. And clearly, for the last 20 years, I don't think I've published after 2010 or something like that, any paper that is not on brand management. And I refuse to do any work outside brand management. I'm trying to focus there, in particular brand relationships, brand equity, brand communities, negativity with brands. So I have selected specific sub-areas, and that's how I develop my career. And I'm suggesting to others to do the same, to develop the know-how and knowledge. So you need to think, and you need to be innovative. And in order to be innovative, you need to know very well the sub-area. When you start focusing on something specific and you understand the literature, you start understanding the need in this literature and normalizing rather than trying to find the short-lived fad. Closing remarks, because I am already almost done. We are in academia. We are not journalists. So our output is not news stories. It's peer-reviewed work. Our goal is not to inform publics on the day about immediate societal issues that have a deadline. But our goal is to establish facts, be it hypotheses, be it existing theory, be it thinking, long-term thinking, and create fundamental boundaries. So trends should not be, as it is for journalists, our narrative, what happened quickly then to the audience. We should accumulate, explain, and have durable understanding of changes that seem to be important and relevant. Not things that are minor. Having 18% of the papers on virtual influencers seems to me that virtual influencers can become the most important tactic or strategy in companies, which is far from being the reality, but it reflects what people do. My suggestion to you is to follow your passion. Do research on things you really like and ignore fads. Make sure that this research is useful and you help others in terms of their thinking, in terms of their decision making. We are not just to publish there. We are there to help thinking of future managers, our students, and of current managers. So follow your passion related to what is needed and what will help people work in the future. Don't force yourself to fit somewhere you don't belong. Choose the area you like, you are passionate about, and work in it. That's what I have done. It worked for me. I hope that this suggestion might work for some of you. That was all from me. The background, you can see the University of Glasgow in Scotland that I'm working. I'm very sorry I'm not there with you at this point. That would have included and involved 2.5 days traveling. And it was not possible. I returned from a big trip to the US, China, and Portugal a week and a half ago, without touching base in between. But if you want to keep in touch, please connect with me on LinkedIn, and I am sharing often very many news and ideas on research, in addition to information for the journal. Thank you so much once again. It's a great honor to be with you, and many apologies that I'm not in flesh and blood there, and I'm not able to touch you and talk with you and eat with you and smile with you, but it's not easy. I cannot beam me up, Scotty, come and return. Traveling is not easy. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, Professor Cleopatra, for sharing your insights about brand manager and many other aspects with our audience today. Really appreciate it, ma'am. And also for getting up so early to do this session. I know 5 o'clock in the morning is difficult for many of us to be up and awake, but really appreciate you doing this, ma'am, for us today. Thank you so much, Professor Cleopatra. Can we have a round of applause for our speaker from Europe? Thank you, thank you.
So I will leave you to your conference now. I am leaving. Thank you so much. And I hope that I will keep in touch with many of you via LinkedIn. Bye-bye.
Yeah, sure, man. Thank you so much. Thank you, Professor Cleopatra. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Bye, bye. An American engineer, inventor, and businessman, Dean Kamen, once said, every once in a while, a new technology, an old problem, and a big idea turn into an innovation. I think undoubtedly, one of the biggest inventions of our times has been artificial intelligence or AI. Our chief guest for today is an AI leader. He is an entrepreneur, an alumnus of IIT Delhi, having an experience of building 5 companies, 12 products, and running all of these businesses from scratch. He has built a 500 members team spread across 3 countries, the United States of America, UAE, and India, and has managed a P&L of over $1 billion. He was recently chosen as one of the top 100 AI leaders of Europe in Amsterdam, among Google's DeepMind CEO, Hugging Face CTO, and Grok CEO, and appointed as the chairman of Generative AI and LLM Council at the world's largest AI summit in Amsterdam, Netherlands. Moreover, he was awarded the Top Honor Award from the Sultanate of Oman by His Highness for excellence in technology and AI leadership, for impacting education and skilling across the globe. He also serves as the APAC chairman of the AI World Organization, a Europe-based organization with a community of over 5,000 artificial intelligence leaders working towards AI for good and AI for all, and serves as an AI consultant with various governments and Fortune 500 companies for education, skilling, and large-scale workforce transformation. Popularly known as the Lion founder among the AI community, he is the founder and chief AI officer of Rabbit AI. So many of us have used Rabbit AI over the years. So he's the chief AI officer of Rabbit AI, a London-based AI company backed by the industry leaders from NVIDIA, Meta, and Microsoft. He is also a mentor and advisor at Delhi University's Startup Incubation Fund and an official forum member at Confederation of Indian Industry, that is CII, and Academia Partnership Forum. And he has served as an AI consultant with international defense organizations for developing self-learning generative AI powered system for mine warfare. Previously, he bootstrapped Tech Curators, a TC Group company, and raised it to up to $14 million and scaled the company's business in 25 countries and over 400 clients with the power of technology and community, and created employment opportunities for, hold your breath, over 10,000 people for Bharat in tier 3, tier 4 cities and villages. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome with a thunderous round of applause our chief guest for today, Mr. Harneet Singh, for his address. Welcome, sir.
Okay. Thank you, first of all, to VGU, to the entire management and organizers for having me here. You heard a long sentence and long description and all. We just started, but one thing which I'd like to call upon over here, which is of relevance for the country right now, and I'll also tell about myself and my journey, which can probably, spark some areas of collaboration. But first thing which I've always has helped me in life, much before AI, and today we are known with AI, is a concept called, very simple one word, question. Right? Question, sawal. That is the thing which I used to imbibe earlier as well. That is the thing I imbibe today. And when people ask me what is the future of AI, nobody knows, but you can question. Right question, right time, asked in the right room can lead to right actions. Right? So, Patron sir said very interesting thing, when government liberalized college opening, 150 odd people opened up universities without questioning what will it lead to. So many people started investing in AI, building stuff without ever questioning. So lot of areas I'll try to relate to this, but before that I'll also tell my story. So I'm a IIT Delhi alumnus, a guy who's been coding. I was born, brought up in India only, in a tier 3 city in Haryana. Studied in a village school and coding since the age of 8. So for the very first time in class 5, I developed a website for my school. At that time, HTML came up very recently, and there was a foundation who gifted books to our school. And that time internet was not there, right, when I was in grade 5. And on the back side of the book was the photo printed of Bill Gates. And it was written over there, he's the richest man in the world, and he's the founder of Microsoft. And I just went to a question with our newly opened computer lab. I went and questioned our computer teacher that who is Bill Gates and what has he done? And very, very interesting, richest man of the world. Okay, she's like, he founded Microsoft, he's the founder of Windows, the Windows which runs in your computer. We've never seen a computer, never seen Windows, but I tried to ask questions, what is Windows and all that stuff. So my teacher got very irritated and gave me a book and said, you read it, I don't know and all. And probably you go to IIT and ask your questions over there. She took me to the principal, and principal said, why not? If the guy is, pretty much interested, why don't you do it? So she said, HTML and CSS, so 10th class mein, 9th class mein padhate hain. We don't have it in syllabus. I can't teach HTML to a 5th class guy. Principal said, no, please try. Make him sit with the 9th standard guys, and let's say if he understands. I attended the class for 3 days, and 4th day I went back and probably, went to a cyber cafe, coded the website for my school, and they were hiring a Bangalore-based agency that time, paying them probably 20-30,000. They paid me a 5,000 price for making it, and that was my first earning. Started with the question that who is Bill Gates and what can I do? So teacher said you can build a website. Eventually in my school itself, I started a small group of all our juniors and all, got them into this, taught them web development. And हमारे शहर के सारे restaurants और आसपास के hospitals and all सबकी websites we used to sell that time at 5,000 rupees, which is a very big amount for a student who was in class 8, class 9 that time. And I was one of the richest guys in school at least. Self-made. I'm like, I cannot compete with Bill Gates, but in my school and pocket money wise, I was the richest. I'm not comparing with their parents, but with my peers. Okay, long story short, then I went to IIT Delhi, and that time Flipkart was emerging and all. Again, the second question which I asked to my professor in class in IIT Delhi, we went there first semester and all, they were teaching C, C++, object-oriented programming and all that stuff. I'm like, but I really want to build a Flipkart clone. Sachin Bansal, Vinny Bansal have been hugely successful. What does it take to build an e-commerce website and an app, right? I thought, why can't we build something for the IIT Delhi campus? He just said, "ये तो third year में आएगा." Same story was repeating and all. And I'm like, I've been cheated whole my life. School ने कहा IIT जाओ वहाँ सारे सवालों के जवाब मिलेंगे. And now even IIT is saying, no, this is in 6th semester. First you have to learn ADA, first you have to learn DS, I said, I don't want to learn anything. I want to build an app which can connect a driver to a rider. And I want to do that. And why can't I do it right now? Because I am very hungry to be successful early. So like, no, do this. Okay, went back to our seniors, right? Realized, okay, professors can't help us, right? So went back to our seniors and opened up a club in IIT Delhi, which still runs, which is Entrepreneurship Development Cell. Acha, interesting point, when I went to IIT Delhi, and I can say it on record, there was every club out there. There was dance club, drama club, there was Nukkad Natak and everything happening in sports club, everything. There was no coding club in IIT Delhi. So we again questioned, kya IIT Delhi ho and we don't have a coding club? Why? Okay, this club needs funds, it needs dean's approval, this, that. We're like, fine, we don't need anything, we need a ground, we need 5-6 people sitting together. We just want few seniors, जिनको हम end में pizza party दे देंगे. Just teach us how you crack the particular interview, and that peer-to-peer learning. We started the dev club in IIT Delhi. Same thing. Lot of things we built over there. Then we called speakers like this, right? I am a bit disappointed that students are not here. I believe one request to the organizers, next time call your students, because you guys are already learned, right? You're doing something or the other good, but your students are the ones who will get most learnings from these conferences. So involve your students, because they are the ones who are more aggressive. Today my team members are more aggressive. I'm still young, but still I see when I hire freshers, they are very aggressive. Sir, why are we not doing this? Why are we not competing against Cursor and all? These questions, when they come from the younger generation, we are poised to think, yeah, I am thinking small. Why 100 million this time? Why not a billion? Right? So coming back, this was then I got a chance to work with Flipkart in the very early days, got the mentorship from there, and realized the real learning happens there. And then after IIT, I just worked for Wipro in the CEO office, got direct guidance of Azim Premji's team and all. Again, learned a lot of things. They're also questioned how big companies work, right? So my boss told, you can't grow faster than your senior. I'm like, but I want to. Again, the same question. Then they're like, khud ka kar, let's start. There's no other option. So I started my own company, and I started my first company in the learning space. And all my good dear seniors, investors, they said, there's nothing in education. You're a smart guy. You'll get a 1 crore job. Why are you wasting your life working in education? That was the question asked by all smart guys who were supporting me all throughout the IIT journey, the seniors, the investors and all. They're like, you are getting a job worth 1 CR. You will never be able to make a 1 CR profit in your edtech business or education thing which you're trying to do. We were building a skill assessment company that time, because I was very disappointed with the campus placement process, which is more like a lottery. I said it should be more scientific. How can you test normal aptitude and coding for a role which requires UI UX designing. You need to really have different form of assessments and give students the right kind of experience. That was a rebellion we started, and people said, Hanik, you're wasting your life, you're too young to do all this. Baad mein karna ye. When you grow big and all, then become a professor and all that stuff. But right now, don't work in this. Maybe go in finance, go in deep tech and all that stuff. So not even in deep tech, go in finance or go in algorithmic trading and all that stuff, because that's where most of the IIT Delhi or IIT engineers make money. Go to Silicon Valley. That's it. I went there for 2 months, come back. I realized, no, my calling is in transformation and transformation through education, which happened to me. I want to do that at a larger scale. So built my first company, Tech Curators, which was a scale assessment company. And that's where we went to all these global IT giants and said, there's a better way to hire. And we started in US and Europe. There were a lot of diversity, equity, inclusion issues which were booming up that time. How are you rejecting someone? Companies were getting sued for rejecting someone. This was the 2010-12 wala time. Companies were sued in Europe, in US if you rejected someone. Why? Because there could be a chance that brown guys are rejected more and all. But companies also have to safeguard. And they wanted to really eliminate human bias from the selection process. तो हमने क्या बनाया, हमने उस टाइम पे प्रपोज करा, number one, we'll create a skill based assessment thing. Whatever is your real world role, we'll create our AI that time, our software will create that kind of assessment, and will test the people on the exact skills which they were need in real world. And secondly, it won't tell you the first name, second name, photograph of the person without you first looking at the skill score and saying yes or no. So the first round of elimination or selection or whatever started happening on our platform without even knowing the first name, last name, photograph of the person. It was just an ABC with this degree from this college, this skill level and all that stuff, and we started building the skill passport for the large part of the world. And when people were saying, I was trying to raise 1 CR for that company, and people nobody gave us the money that time, and within 9 months we got offers from companies to sell the same company in 19, 20 crores and then 45 crores and then 100 crores. So, and the story goes on, and that was the first time where we saw money, real, 50 crores, 100 crores in real life for the very first time. And then I realized how Bill Gates might be feeling, right, when he first saw that. So coming back, then of course with larger successes comes larger responsibility. A lot of things kept coming to us, and God was kind. I institutionalized that company, gave it to a private equity group, made good amount of money, and then we were free, we were a bit famous, and we were still very energetic what to do. And that was the time we asked ourselves, what is the thing we can do for the country, from the country and all. And that time AI was coming up, so we started, and we were already using a lot of AI and automation in our previous company when AI was not even a hype. But we never told the customers or people, because you don't need to, right? We were making 80% margins, that was good enough for us, with all those Python script automations and all, for generating content, for putting content and all that stuff. So the question, when AI came in, ChatGPT and all, the question for us was, what is a sustainable future? Is using GPT in that way sustainable for enterprises, for governments, for institutions? And I'm very glad, जो उस टाइम पे हमने बात करी थी तब कोई नहीं मान रहा था. आज तीन दिन पहले ही Money Control published my article, and a few days back we met Indian government as well and the ministry, and now everybody is agreeing when US government banned Claude, right, to be using. But when we said that in 2022, people were like, okay, you are in London, go there, work in London and make a lot of money, and जब बना लो तो इंडिया को आके donate कर देना. That was the real statement given by a real minister to me. Won't name the minister, okay? They're like, you're doing really good, we need people like you, but for free, right? So you work in London, you work in Oman, you build models, and when you want to do charity and philanthropy, you come and give it to the country as a research initiative and all. I'm like, okay, we can do that, but the bigger thing is India really needs to build its talent and its own AI. This is like electricity. आप electricity बाहर से नहीं खरीद सकते, आप oil already बाहर से खरीदते हो तो इतना challenge होता है. आप electricity बाहर से नहीं खरीद सकते हो. You cannot buy AI from outside. This was the thing we said. So when I started Rabbit AI, so Rabbit Name was very interesting. It came, I'll tell you the small story. So far so good? Do I need to change the course of discussion and all? Okay, fair enough. So it should make sense for the audience. That is my question, right? So when I saw ChatGPT, when my team saw ChatGPT, तो हमने वहाँ पे भी question पूछे, and 3 questions which changed our life, and I'll tell you all those questions. First question was, why the models have to be so large? इसकी क्या जरूरत है? And we thought again, बिल गेट्स वो बुक पढ़ी हुई 5th क्लास में काम आई कि वो पूरी जर्नी थी कि बिल गेट्स ने पर्सनल कंप्यूटर्स बनाए समवॉट, बट उससे पहले यू हैड मेन फ्रेम, उससे पहले यू हैव कंप्यूटर्स ओवर दिस बिग size, right? You would require an entire building to run a computer in 1950s. You would require an entire room to run a computer in 1970s. But in 1980s, you would have a MacBook coming from Steve Jobs, a device and all coming from a Dell, Michael Dell, and you are coming an operating system which works inside this coming from a Microsoft. And all those people became the richest man of the world. And I was pursuing the same thing, richest man of the world. Very simple, right? You should have a motivation. Money should be a motivation. No doubts about that. We said, why AI models have to be large, that they need to be hosted on GPUs and all? Okay, for training one time it is fine. Can AI be small? Again, people said you are foolish. पुरानी कंपनी का सक्सेस आपके सिर पे चढ़ गया, कुछ भी बोल रहे हो. You want to waste hundreds of crores? Go spend your own money. Go spend the money. But ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है. ChatGPT पागल नहीं है. DeepSeek तो उस टाइम नहीं था. ChatGPT पागल नहीं है. Claude पागल नहीं है. When they are spending billions of dollars, I'm like, let them spend billions of dollars. But there are certain industries where if AI can be made small means lesser compute in technical terms, smaller models which can work inside your device, inside your premise. अगर वीडियो कंप्रेस हो सकती है, अगर कंप्यूटर कंप्रेस होकर एक बिल्डिंग से लैपटॉप पे आ सकता है, why can't AI models be compressed? That was the question. And this is first principle. ये question पूछने के लिए you don't require any IIT degree or technical knowledge. हाँ, इसका आंसर ढूंढने के लिए maybe you will, but we asked this question to NVIDIA researchers, we asked this questions to our IIT professors, and first time in life IIT professors came to our use. उससे पहले कोई help नहीं करी उन्होंने. So then we went back to them and we're like, can you really, all the research you do, can you really help us understand if we really want to compress the model? My question is simple. I really want to fit the model inside the device, but why Harmeet will tell you, please, if you can help us. You are technically more qualified. We'll do industry academia collaboration. We went back to 3 Indian universities. We went back to UK universities, 1 US university, 6 universities. We sponsored research over there, and all the money we got from investors we sponsored. Universities sponsored. Finally, we were able to come up with a novel technique to build small language models. It was not fully accurate, fine, but it was small. Another thing I asked, AI is not accurate. Okay, AI is not accurate. अब वो मेडिकल साइंस में आपको यूज करना है एक्यूरेसी 99.999% चाहिए, ये तो पेशेंट की जान चली जाएगी. बॉर्डर पे आपको यूज करना है एआई को डिटेक्ट करने के लिए, यू नीड 100% एक्यूरेसी. इट कैन नॉट बी, शायद ऐसा होगा, शायद ये पाकिस्तान का सोल्जर है, नहीं शायद इंडिया का ही. यू कैन नॉट डू दैट, राइट? द वर्ल्ड डज नॉट work on probability. Wealth is not made on probability, and industries are not made on probability. Research can have probability. So we needed certainty. So we said, can AI be accurate? And third question I said we asked 3 questions. First is, can AI be small? Second, can AI be more accurate? And third question is ownership. Can you own an AI? All the time you spend with AI, how many time in the room you have spent with ChatGPT since ChatGPT came up? Any guesses or any answers? आपने कितना टाइम लगाया होगा एक साल में prompting a ChatGPT or Claude? 2 hours, 20% of your professional time? Maybe? Yes? Entire organizations? Now look at the entire Indian professional community. They would have spent 20% of the time. That means 20% of India's GDP somewhere has gone to make ChatGPT better. Yes or no? How much did you get ownership in ChatGPT? How much the country got? What ownership you have? If they block the model today, you can't do anything. You say I'll pay $1,000. No, the control is not, supply is not yours, control is not yours. Both, this is the biggest problem. People said, अरे ऐसा थोड़ी होगा, global market है, liberalized world है, हो गया 3 दिन पहले, thanks to Trump. Right? It happened. Now, at least nobody questions us. When we say own your AI, own your data, that was what Rapid AI started with. People said, nahi hoga, you are being too pessimistic, you are being too paranoid. I said, nation builders and entrepreneurs have to be paranoid. You have to think of the worst case scenario and then secure yourself and then grow your country and not vice versa. You first grow your country, then let Britishers steal it and then probably safeguard it with an independence movement. That's a good thing, but that's history. Future should be security first, growth next. So these were the questions which we asked. Okay, we did a lot of experiments, got grace, we were successful, and the first use case we found was one of the projects from one of the international navies, right? Not an Indian navy, international navy. Can't name them, but that's out there in public information, and they called us and they said, can you build models for us which work inside the submarine? We really saw your research, we really saw your work. Can you really help us secure our naval mines? So for those of you who people understand naval mines, what are naval mines, right? They are naturally occurring, basically they could be like seashells or naturally occurring objects, but जब ship उनके पास जाती है तो they explode, they are bombs. Now it could be naturally occurring or artificially planted. Earlier, this navy used to send human soldiers with submarines and radars and sonars, everything, to detect and defuse naval mines. There is a possibility of casualty. अगर आप detect नहीं कर पाए और naval mine के पास से you go, so you will lose life, right? Billions of dollars every year was spent on doing this research and innovation. They were already 77% there, but when GenAI came in and we were one of the pioneers of building models on device on premise, defense was the first player to adopt us, and we never planned it. We just asked the question, can AI be small? Can AI be accurate, more secure? Defense was the first one. They gave us a challenge, plus $25 million project, that make it work on our submarines. We took a challenge. Okay, the question was, why can't a Microsoft or an OpenAI build that? The only reason, because they are not that small and people can't trust them because they work with everyone, right? And they do not work on device, they work on cloud. Their technology was failing under seawater. Ours was yet to be built, and we got the challenge. Okay, put 55-member team specifically across the globe, me myself, shifted to that nation, worked with their navy commanders and all that stuff. 1.5 years of hands down research, stealth modes, no publicity, no PR, no media statements, nothing. Finally, we got success. And we took it to, I'm very glad to say, we took it to 97.5% accuracy and unmanned submarines. So basically what that means is now they can send underwater submarines to defuse naval mines without having human soldiers in that. तो अगर 2.5% केस में लॉस होगा भी तो सिर्फ प्रॉपर्टी का होगा, no loss of life. And we never planned it, right? It just happened, God's grace, universal signals. And after that project, our life changed, because then they published it in the defense circles, and then I was in London. I got a summon or a letter from India, DRDO, Army Chief, Navy Chief, Air Force Chief, all want to meet you, come down to IIT Delhi on 8th of August 2024. That time that sounded more like a threat. What have I done wrong? मैंने कहा कि it was June, right? Same time. नहीं अभी I don't have plans to come to India in August. I'll probably come and say no, we want you to be here, please. Come there and with your team and all. We really wanna, talk to you and all. Okay. I went to IIT Delhi, my own alma mater. Army Chief, Navy Chief, Air Force Chief, DRDO Chief, all of them were sitting over there. 8th of August 2024. I can't forget the day. And they're like, you look like an Indian guy. What are you doing for South Korean Navy? I'm like, same question back to you. I am an Indian guy. What am I doing for them? Why don't you call me? So, and that statement, that was press conference and statement, they're like, okay, tell us what you've done. We showcased them and all. And then after that, I got an honorary medal for saving soldier lives with AI. And that was given by DRDO, and I was one of the very few known uniform holders in the country to get that medal. So that was a proud achievement for me. और इसकी भी थोड़ी सी बैक स्टोरी ये है, मैं 3 जनरेशन मिलिट्री का है, अ ब्लैक शीप हु बिकेम एन इंजीनियर. So, and my father, grandfather, uncles, they served Indian military, and they have a lot of stories about their time as typical defense people would have. But now I go back to them and say, do you have this medal? आपके पास स्टोरीज हैं, आपने सर्व करा है, मेरे पास मेडल है, मैंने सर्व नहीं करा है. But just a joke. But yeah, that is where, and then we got even more sincere, I would say, to work on technologies where can't talk much about what we are doing, but we are trying to use a lot of AI to save soldier lives. That is one area. Again, small question which got asked कि क्या AI छोटा हो सकता है, क्या AI more accurate हो सकता है, और क्या can AI be owned by you? And owning तभी possible है जब it's purely local. If you are using someone else's APIs, if you are sending data to different cloud, if you don't own the hosting, if you don't own the intelligence, you can't really say that we can adjust it the way we want. And now defense of ours is run as a separate entity apart from the for-profit business which is there. And now we are trying to do the same thing in healthcare, and I'm very, very big and bullish on rural India. And I will like to invite this community as well to work and research on how AI models can be built better to better diagnose a blood test report, to better diagnose an X-ray, to better diagnose preventive health techniques, to better diagnose other fitness techniques. And these products should not be coming from a Pfizer or a United Health or something or that. These products should be coming from the country, from the villages, from our past medical wisdom, and should be applied for greater good for the country. And that is where the universities like yourself, the academicians, the industry, and the local business players can play a big role. और ये सिर्फ कहने की बात नहीं है, it is doable. 5 years plan में, as government makes 5 year plan, I believe the stakeholders, the universities, academia should make those kind of 5 year plans. कि we have to create entrepreneurs from here. So this was first part of my talk where the question leads to couple of things. Now I'll go to the second part. What is it now? क्योंकि अभी तक whatever I have told is past, right? There's an opportunity which we captured before time. अगर हम 2026 की बात करें, 2026, what is an opportunity right now? Because India has missed a lot of buses. We have to agree to that. क्योंकि एक बात सर ने बहुत सही बोली कि we have a DNA, हम कॉपी बहुत जल्दी करते हैं. So when Rapid AI became successful, a lot of copies of Rapid also created. And I asked one of my market researchers, right, from one of the big 4 consulting, I said, just figure out who are these people who are the owners and all. They said there are people coming from 2 places. I'm like, okay, which is the second one? I knew the first one. So they said Russia. I'm like, okay, we are famous in Russia, people are trying to make our clones, and we are famous in India, of course, people are trying to make our clones. And so coming back, we really copy very well. So why not use that technique to set right example so that the larger nation copies the entrepreneurship stories, copies the AI implementation stories, copies the AI in business implementation story. Because if पड़ोसी ने गाड़ी ली, हम भी गाड़ी लेते, that's a liability. But if someone created or amplified a small business with the help of AI and real innovation, and we copy that, or as a nation that copies that, I guess that is where we can really lead to a Viksit Bharat. Otherwise, no. Only government, no. Only people like us, no. Only academia, no. All of us together, and society should have an incentive to innovate. Otherwise, all this innovation and sustainability will be in books. And 5 years down the line, we'll still be reading this and will be nowhere. So, 2-3 trends also I like to share. Right? We have time, right? What is the future? Right? Where I am particularly working, my companies are working. 3 things again. Right? So, first is, as India, what do we have? We have the largest population. We have most, I would say, average young population. We have a large adaptable population, English speaking and all, right? This is what we have. What is the world needing right now? AI native population which can do more with less. Even all large companies I work with, Fortune 500 companies, I guess Ritu will also agree to this, they're all having a mandate to do more with same people or to do more with even less people. These are the only two mandates. 3 years back when I used to go to these CEOs and meet all these boardroom people, they're like, Harneet, our growth is, at least the service companies, their growth was linked to headcount. तो अगर कोई 2 लाख लोगों की कंपनी है, कोई 4 लाख लोगों की कंपनी है, 4 लाख लोगों वाली कंपनी will have more this thing because growth is more. Is it true in the AI world? Answer is no. So what do you need? यहाँ पे I'll give you a very interesting management example from Lord Krishna, which I use very well in all the European forums and all. We are doing it at our level as well, and that is very interesting. So just listen. तो सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग के अगर मैं एग्जांपल दूं, AI आने से पहले it was more like a horse rider thing. AI नहीं आया मानो व्हील नहीं आया अभी. So you have to be if you have to travel faster, you need to learn how to do horse riding. All royal people knew horse riding, yes. So you have to run on that horse. अगर आपको soldier बनना है, statesman बनना है, noble बनना है, royal बनना है, you have to be a good horse rider, and horse riders are the respected people in the society. Yes. Now wheel is invented. मैं स्किल बता रहा हूँ कि पास्ट में क्या स्किल चाहिए थी. पास्ट में हॉर्स राइडर स्किल चाहिए थी, यानी कि इंडिविजुअल कंट्रीब्यूटर स्किल्ड इन वन थिंग व्हिच इज हॉर्स राइडिंग, तो वो काम कर ले. नाउ व्हील इज इन्वेंटेड. ओके, व्हेन व्हील इज इन्वेंटेड, देयर इज जोक आल्सो. व्हील को थिंक ऑफ इट एज एआई. So people who want to move very fast, they're like, my horse should be wheel powered. My horse should be wheel powered. My company should be AI powered. My company should be AI powered. And they take a wheel, buy a wheel, take in their hand, sit on the same horse, and then say, yo, I am AI powered, right? I am wheel powered. Then there's another people who have more funds, more stakes. तो उन्होंने 2 wheel खरीद लिए, put it in both their hands, and more smarter people got 3rd wheel also put in their neck, right? So now you imagine a person who is having 2 wheels in their hand, one in neck, sitting on the same old horse, just burdening it and calling itself the new organization. Sad state of today's reality is this. I'm not joking. 90%, 80 to 90% people are using AI this way. Who's the real people now? Question, thinking. Where to put the wheel? Is wheel important? Yes. अब AI को क्यों खराब बोल रहे हो? अगर आप उसको अगर आप wheel को हाथ में पकड़ के ऐसे ऐसे चला रहे हो, then wheel is not bad. Your thinking is somewhere a problem. Your leadership is a problem. Right? So you really can't blame AI. So discussion, is AI good or bad, is a thing of the past. Where to use AI, when to use AI, how much to use AI, what to own, what to rent should be the real question. First thing. So smart people figured out, okay, now wheel is invented, horse is there, I can build a chariot. मैं एक रथ बना सकता हूँ. I use wheel and I use horse. ठीक है? Okay, रथ बने. The entire Mahabharat, this battle was fought on Rath, right? Now, अब horse riders का जमाना चला गया, chariots का जमाना आ गया, रथ यात्रा का जमाना आ गया. In रथ यात्रा, who are the best people, or who are the most skilled people? Let's go back and say, I have this theory which I coined. I'd say Lord Krishna played the best role in Mahabharata of a leader. Right? He made a small company win over a large company. Let's take it an enterprise vision. Company of 5 people versus a company of 100 people. Small startup, small university, small country, large country, right? Management lesson. If you make a small team win against a large win, it's management. Simple definition for me, right? Okay, Krishna made that happen. What was Krishna's skill? Krishna's skill was orchestration. Krishna's skill was not using the weapon. It could be, but he did not use it. He used Arjuna, who maybe can be more skilled than him in that particular skill. And he guided him all throughout the way, कि इधर घुमाओ, उधर घुमाओ, ये चलो, attack here, don't attack here, use your resources wisely. Was Arjuna good, Tirandaz? Yes, for sure, no doubt. But can Arjuna succeed without Krishna? Not even spiritually, I'm talking scientifically. Spiritually always yes, scientifically no. Because energy put in the wrong direction is not the right energy. Direction is the biggest thing. Now, earlier times, your horse riding, sitting on the horse, and leading a troop could be the biggest skill, being the skilled person yourself. But I see, or I say this theory that in the AI world, managers really need to have a Krishna kind of ability to guide someone else to kill it. And those someone else will be multiple Arjunas in your organization. And when you are an AI leader, we say Arjun is equal to AI and Krishna is equal to you. So if you really have to call yourself as an AI leader, AI founder, AI transformation evangelist, you have to guide that Arjuna towards growth. By itself, it can lead to erosion, it can lead to failure. And that is one of the management lessons I have tried to coin. Happy to include it in your research and happy to even take it to global level in a published manner that this is a lesson, and work with industries to make it happen. Because this, the Krishna skill, I'll say, is missing. Very few people in the industry are really thinking of that. The operator, the erstwhile operators, the erstwhile horse riders now have to become chariot guiders. The erstwhile operators, software engineers, marketing designers, IT experts, जो इंडिविजुअल वन स्किल पे काम करने वाले लोग थे, क्या उनकी जॉब रिस्क में है? आंसर इज यस, आई वॉन्ट डिनाई। जो एक स्किल पे वर्टिकली जिसने अपना करियर बना रखा है, क्या उसकी जॉब रिस्क में है? यस। बट देन क्या सबकी जॉब रिस्क में है? क्या जॉब्स कम होने वाली है? नो। क्या वो जॉब कम होने वाली है? यस। सो यू रियली नीड टू हैव अ टी शेप्ड स्किल, डेप्थ इन वन बट डोमेन एग्नोस्टिक थिंकिंग। जो चीज आपने कंस्ट्रक्शन में करी है, कैन यू ऑल्सो डू इट इन आईटी, कैन यू ऑल्सो डू इट इन probably governance, can you also do it in education, can you also do it in lot of other things. That thinking will make you or me or anyone the leader of tomorrow, and then that leader of tomorrow can actually lead the organization, the community, the society and the country to actually become a sovereign AI छोड़ दो, sovereign nation. And technology, that everyone now agrees, without owning a, पहले नेशन की डेफिनेशन होती थी यू ओन योर बॉर्डर, यू ओन योर लॉज एंड योर पीपल आर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन अबाइडिंग। ये तीन डेफिनेशन होती थी। बट नाउ इफ यू से ओनिंग योर पीपल, ओनिंग योर बॉर्डर, ओनिंग योर दिस थिंग इज फाइन, बट इफ यू डोंट ओन योर टेक स्टैक, टेक्नोलॉजी, आपकी पूरी मैसेजिंग, टेलीकम्युनिकेशन, सैटेलाइट, ऑल दिस थिंग एंड AI is one advanced form of technology. If you don't own this, you can't be called as a nation. And the theory exists. There are two ways. One, 2047, we can be a Viksit Bharat. For one, 2047, another parallel world is that nations start to disappear the way they are, and there are other superpowers which come up. That could also be a possibility. We have to be working towards the best possibility for ourselves, but also not ignoring the worst possibility which can happen. We've already been, I have called this out and I have no shame or fear in saying that हमने इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन में मिस आउट करा. वी डिड नॉट अडॉप्ट इंडस्ट्री इन 1700s और 1800s, राइट? बिकॉज वी वर रूल्ड बाय फॉरेन पार्टीज एंड ऑल, इन्वेजन्स एंड ऑल. हम उसी से झगड़ रहे थे एंड वी कुड नॉट इन्वेंट टेक्नोलॉजी एंड साइंस एंड दैट टाइम एंड वी वर enslaved for 200 years. Yes, if we don't play the AI game right, we'll be enslaved for more than 2000 years. In fact, आपने वो छोटी सी इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन को इग्नोर करा जब लंदन उसे अडॉप्ट कर रहा था, जब यूएस उसे अडॉप्ट कर रहा था, एंड इट लेड टू 200 years of slavery by the Europe or by the UK. That's a fact. If we don't do it right now, the AI slavery will be much bigger. At the same time, positive thing is there are a lot of opportunities. Finally, I'll come to conclusion with what's in it for tomorrow. I was completing my first point. Workforce transformation is the need of the hour. And I don't only speak, we do what we say. I put my money where my mouth is, right? So I run just a bit about myself. Today I run a group of 5 companies, right, which are part of TZ Group as well, and then Rabbit AI is our biggest company backed by NVIDIA leaders and all, and now we have opened up also in Australia apart from London. We're headquartered in London, Australia and India also. We have our offices in Delhi and Bangalore. We are doing cutting edge AI research work, working with more than 400 plus clients globally to work on that. Apart from Rabbit AI, we also found Rabbit Learning, which is our arm, and this only works in India for talent transformation, because we said the real knowledge has to go down to academia and we need to really do a handshake. and hand-holding both to build the future of tomorrow. Otherwise, when I was hiring people for Habitat, I had to necessarily go to London. There was no fantasy for me to go to London and build over there. Because, of course, client was there, but also talent was there. Talent was in Eastern Europe. Poland is much ahead of us. Belgium is much ahead of us when you talk of AI native talent. And there are a lot of other countries. So 2022, I went back to IIT Delhi and a couple of other institutes in the country and some private universities as well. I said, this is going to be the future. I need at least 150 to 200 folks. Please prepare them for me. I will send out my people, my other industry friends, and we do a 2+2 program. Your 4-year engineering degree should not be all theory. Give me the students in 3rd year. We will pick our Super 60 batch and we will train them on real industrial thing, and we will pick them, some of us, some of them, and some of them will send to the industry. And of course it takes some time. I always complain, इंडिया में यूनिवर्सिटीज टाइम बहुत लेती है, मतलब हम बोल के चले जाते हैं, वापस आते हैं, वो आते हैं, ज़माना बदल जाता है, and then they come back, you said this thing, and then they come back. But this is changing with few universities, and I have seen VGU being very progressive, India Impact Summit and all. I guess that's a good thing, but overall entire academia needs to follow that. So long story short, we started that batch with IIM Raipur, where I am a visiting faculty. We also did it in Australia with UNSW Sydney. Now we are doing with a couple of other universities like Chitkara, we are aggressively working with, and a couple of folks from IIT Delhi and all. And we pick up very niche talent and take them through the entire grill and drill of actually building technology from scratch, and not just preparing them to crack an exam and be the real champions. Now some of them end up becoming entrepreneurs, some of them end up joining us, but glad that we train them, and there are a lot of people who don't even join us and go even higher in the industry, but we farm our own food. Because one is, we can keep complaining इंडिया में टैलेंट नहीं है, लोगों को काम नहीं करना है, प्रेशर, and this generation is another layer on top. People don't want to work. So that's a real challenge. And in 3 years, I know that I have a team of bunch of young people, and I have a team of specific 5 HR people just to manage their tantrums. There's no other option. So 5 people's salary is just going to manage the tantrums of another 25 people. And that's the reality. This was not true 3 years back. In my generation, when we used to work, we are like, kuch bhi de do, we'll make it happen, we'll make it work. Today's generation is very entitled, right? And we can't deny that. We really have to make systems around that. Best is, in campus itself, you actually grill them, right? No training. I'm a 3-gen military guy. There's nothing called as soft in the world. Your training has to be really hard, right? You have to be mission critical. Otherwise, be okay being ruled by anyone else. There are only 2 options: gain the power, build power, or get ruled by a power. These 2 options. I am very blatant in that. So you don't have to be very chill with students, right? There is time when they earn good money and get to their life and their late 20s or early 30s, they can chill themselves. But this is the time where they should be trained really hard on deep technology. 18 to 25 is the time, I guess, people should really work to build their skills. Whether they join the company or not, that's a secondary thing. I say they should start their own company. People who have worked with me 2 years, a lot of them have gone to start their own companies or work with bigger founders. So my mission is that this path should be illuminated, and people really need to be responsible. The China way or the US way, really hard working. And I got to know you have 12,000 plus students. If I can impact only 500 students, I am happy. Those 500 students, choose those 500 students, be it in BTech or MBA. I am willing to personally guide them and really make them through army kind of training for AI, for deep technology, for management and all. Make them do research, make them do internships, make them travel to conferences, really invest on them for 2 years, and then be proud that you contributed to nation building, and ask them to contribute back to your college even after 2 years from graduating. Why can't you have a contract? We contribute to IIT Delhi. You have seen a lot of IIT Delhi alums contributing back to IIT Delhi, right? That happens because IIT invested in us. It gave us a lot of chances. Okay, I'll summarize. I know time is short. I'll summarize my thing. So this is one thing which I really think can happen from academia. institutions like yours, which are a fully powered university, can launch your own courses, should really pick out students. I know the 12,000 students, not everyone can be good. Not everybody wants to become a Peter Drucker, not everyone wants to become a top leader, not everyone wants to become a Bill Gates, fine. But 12,000 people, you can have 500 people, you can have 200 people who are really, really concerned, have need for a job, really, really concerned, want to do something in life. कुछ marks miss हो गए, JEE नहीं मिला, कुछ marks miss हो गए, यहाँ नहीं जा पाए, but they are really, really concerned. Can't we help them grow? That should be the first focus of the university, and not your professors, but your students will speak for yourself. Happy to consult, guide in that manner. Second big thing I will say, robotics का data. All this Oculus thing, training data. We are today leading a lot of projects where a lot of companies want that data where they can train the robots to do other jobs, industrial jobs, construction jobs, household jobs and all that stuff. India has the largest population. Why shouldn't we add that to our GDP? ये सारा data जब हमारे पास हो, why can't we build a data company from the country and sell that data to others, but the entire profits remain in India? This is what I am proposing to the government as well, right? We're sending them a proposal that you should build a data company, pay people to record data, and then sell that data to OpenAI and Claude and Microsoft of the world. If you don't want to do it, we will do it on a private level, and do a shareholder partnership and give the money to people who give the data and give it to the frontier labs who want it, or research institutions who want it, in a very secure private manner, of course. So data for AI training, robotics data, and talent, which is AI native, ये दो चीजें हैं, which is the immediate opportunities, billion-dollar opportunities for the country, not just for the universities. We are already working and we want more partners for that. That is what is required, and I want from this conference, researchers, academicians should also research that robotics, AI, data training is one area where how do you really train a robot should happen from the country. We should not be setting examples of buying robots from China and showcasing them as our own. You know what I mean, right? So we should not be doing that. 2 साल extra ले लेते हैं, ठीक है, 2 काम कम कर लेते हैं, but let's do original, organic Indian work, right? And last thing I'll just say, so you remember the IIT club I started? They called me back this year in India IIM Back Summit, my own alumni. Juniors are still running it. No faculty involvement, no funds involvement. Students every year form teams, run it. Entrepreneurship Cell and Dev Club. This year when Sam Altman came to India, my company, we were trying to arrange meeting with him, but he was so occupied. Every minister want to meet him and everyone. February के time में India IIM Back Summit. So I could not get in-person time with Sam Altman, right? We were doing some work with OpenAI. We wanted to meet him when he was in the country, but we could not that time. But then I got a call 20th ko, I got a call Feb ko, I got a call from one of my juniors, sir, we would like to invite you, and we are hosting Sam Altman and Vinod Khosla in IIT Delhi. So that video is on YouTube. 2 घंटे की talk के लिए Vinod Khosla was an IIT Delhi alum and Sam Altman. Both of them were there, and they said, sir, you should be in the front seat and all. I'm like, wow, something you do, universe always pays you back. I started that, students are still running it, and they're like, you were one of the founding members. We really want to invite you, अगर आप हो country में और अगर आप दिल्ली में हो, please come to IIT Delhi. I said, सोने पे सुहागा. I went there, sat in the front row and all, heard all these things, and I wanted to meet Sam Altman really. And I met him in the green room. सिर्फ 2 minute का interaction. I was in a hurry. He had to leave for a ministry meeting. And I just asked him few questions. Question लंबा है. I will not repeat it. But मैंने उससे यही पूछा था कि future of AI क्या है? Companies को क्या करना चाहिए? Organizations को क्या करना चाहिए? In small. Sam Altman ने अपना हाथ आगे बढ़ाया. I thought question is too big. We don't want to answer it. उनको जाना है तो उन्होंने कहा हाथ फैला लो, बाद में मिलते हैं, इससे बात कर लो मेरी टीम में. Normally when people say. So he just put forward his hand, and I got a bit nervous. What happened? It's like, Harneet, yes, yeah, Harneet. Handshake. I said, okay. I did a handshake. He held my hand for few seconds. He said, handshake and hand holding. This is the way to go. This is the future. Handshake with the right intent and hand holding till the right destination. If you master it, if you can help us in that, You are the future. Thank you. Eventually. I'm like, wow, this was what I needed. And then someone says product services does not matter. Now it has become my theory since February of this year, handshake and hand holding. And what he said was, handshake was the time job हो गया 2022 से लेके आज तक was the year of handshake. Handshake is you're getting to know for the very first time. अच्छा ही लगता है. Handshake. Hand holding is the real thing. Meeting someone for the first time, those butterflies and all that stuff is all. जब आपको marriage में रहना पड़ता है, so all of you know what is the reality. I'm not yet married, but I know the reality. So, right? So, hand holding is the toughest part, sir. Handshake is easier. So, handshake and hand holding, he said handshake is over. Hand holding is the biggest part, hand holding is the largest phase, hand holding requires most significant people and it has most significant returns. Work on that. And that's what then has become our mantra, that hand holding till the right destination, be it the students, be it the university, be it the country, and we all coming together. That's it. Finally, I'll say, हो कहीं भी आग लेकिन आग जलनी चाहिए. My task was to illuminate a spark. If that helped, I'm glad. Thank you for hosting me and glad to be here. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks a lot, Harneet sir, for that insightful session, painting the entire picture about AI and how it's going to be, and leading the AI and not really following it. Tips for that, not only for youngsters, but also for people like me who are on the wrong side of 50. So thank you. I think it's going to be extremely useful. Can we have a round of applause for our chief guest, Mr. Harneet Singh? We are privileged to have Mr. Ravindra Shukla sir, who is the Managing Director of Rajasthan Knowledge Corporation Limited. RKCL is a public limited company promoted by the government of Rajasthan and educational universities. It aims to bridge the digital divide by providing accessible, affordable and high quality IT education and digital literacy across the state. Welcome Mr. Ravindra Shukla sir. Thank you. May I now request Lalit sir, our chairman, for coming forward and felicitating Mr. Ravindra Shukla sir. Lalit sir. Thank you very much, Lalit sir. Our next keynote speaker is a renowned technology expert too. He has built next generation AI infrastructure, platforms that integrate power, cooling and compute into unified energy aligned systems. Over the past 27 years plus and 20 plus data centers, he has led the delivery and design of hyperscale and sovereign infrastructure across the Middle East, India, Central Asia and Africa, spanning over 250 megawatt delivered capacity and over 1.5 billion plus in executed assets, with over $4 billion under design. Over the years, his key focus has been on rethinking how infrastructure is built for AI workloads. Currently, he is leading global engineering at Data Vault, where he is involved in developing multi-gigawatt AI infrastructure platforms. He works at the intersection of engineering, capital strategy, and sustainability, helping organizations infrastructure that is not only scalable but investment efficient and future ready. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming with a round of applause our keynote speaker, Mr. Somen Mathur, for his keynote address. Welcome, Somen sir. Mr.
Hi.
Somen Mathur has joined us online. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. And is this still good morning in India? I'm based in Dubai, so it is morning for me yet. So thank you to the organizing committee for having me here. It's I'm deeply honored, and it's a privilege to be part of this CPAM 2.0. A very quick introduction. My name is Somen, and I head the engineering function for Data World. Now, before we jump on to the meat of today's discussion, which is around sustainability, artificial intelligence, and innovation, and also building on my previous keynote speaker and the chief guest, Mr. Singh. That was quite insightful, and it is just building on to that, because what he talked about was very, very critical aspect on the future of the technology, which is artificial intelligence, and how artificial intelligence is changing the way we live our lives, and not only into defense, which he gave a very, very strong example for, but in every aspect of life. So, before we jump into the meat, I will very quickly introduce what we do in Data Vault, and why it is relevant for today's conversation. We are into at Data Vault. We build infrastructure for mission critical facility data centers, which is powering the digital, which is basically powering the digital economy or digital growth. I've been privileged to be part of this journey, not only at Data Vault, but from my previous experience for the last 27 years. I've been part of this journey and seen the entire life cycle, starting from few rack of data hall to the giga scale data center. Now, at Data Vault, we strongly believe, and I completely endorse and agree with what Mr. Singh presented. That AI is going to be future, so, and therefore the digital infrastructure is going to be future. It is as critical for us and for the future generation as were the roads, ports, transportation networks, and power for the previous generation. But as we build this infrastructure, this infrastructure is power hungry, right? And if we are not building this infrastructure sustainably, then we get into a crisis situation. So while we are problem solving for efficiency, while we are problem solving for quite other things, we may end up creating another set of problem. And that is the challenge which we purely recognize, and that has become our core our core or center of center of our development. So sustainability basically is at the forefront of whatever we do. Our infrastructure hovers on three principles. One is, of course, building it more efficiently by adopting technology, deployment of the right technology, adopting the right technology in building this infrastructure. Second is maximizing the green energy or renewable energy. And third, which is most important, is investing in technology which helps in harnessing the renewable sources of energy. Basically, how do we store energy when they are in abundance, and how do we shift energy when the renewable energy is not available. So this brings us to our today's topic of discussion on the artificial intelligence and sustainability, and why sustainability has now become the center of all boardroom conversation. And the answer is very simple, right? The way AI infrastructure is increasing, the way we are consuming information, the way we are investing on technology, and the way it is becoming super critical, is giving birth to increasingly demand of energy. And energy is not something which is abundant. Energy is not something which is freely available. It consumes our natural resources, and therefore it is important for us to have a sustainable way of consuming these resources. Now, this infrastructure will continue to grow, and it is completely, and we can see it in our lives. Every transaction that we do on our bank is powered by compute. Every transaction, what we do on our app to purchase things is again backed up by compute infrastructure. The way we consume information today again is fueling the need for having compute, and more compute. The way we are consuming information, every Instagram reel that we produce will require compute power. Every Instagram post or every WeChat or WhatsApp message, what we do will require compute, storage, network connectivity. So, and therefore it is super critical for us to ensure that whatever we do it sensibly. So the conversation is not just about how are we going to grow, or how are we going to deploy these demands. The conversation is how sustainable can we make this infrastructure. Now, whenever we are trying to problem solve sustainability, that gives us an opportunity for innovation. With this rapid growth in the AI, is the need to be more sustainable. And this need to be more sustainable is driving the innovation with regards to efficiency of infrastructure, innovation with regards to renewable energy, innovation with regards to storage of energy. Now, when we look at these aspects, and these aspects are not just engineering solutions. These are conversations which are leadership conversations. These are the conversations which are not just problem solving for energy. These are conversations which are defining the path for the future, path for us to deploy, path for deployment of the future solution. So, how do we make it more efficient? How do we initiate this process? Is something which is going to drive the future leadership. And with this thought, if you are able to imbibe this thought within our curriculum, if we are able to put this thought with the student. I learned just while Mr. Singh was speaking that we don't have students in this forum. I would love to have addressed this to the future leaders. But having said that, the mentors are here. So if we are able to bring this thought within the future leaders, that will give us an opportunity to create sustainable thought leadership. With that, let me conclude with one of my final thought. Artificial intelligence sustainability are often discussed as a separate topics, and I strongly believe that these are inseparable topics. Artificial intelligence will define how we work. Sustainability will define how are we going to grow, and innovation will determine whether we can be successful in achieving both. With that thought, I will leave it to this forum and look forward for creating a better future. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Somen sir. Thanks a lot, Somen sir. Really appreciate you taking time out to speak to all of us. Thank you, sir. Can we have a round of applause for our keynote speaker, Emily Martin? A best-selling author, mentor, and philanthropist, Heather Ash Amara, once said, "Change is inevitable, but transformation is by choice." Our guest of honor today is a senior business advisor with over 20 years of experience in helping C-suite executives develop innovative strategies, define new value propositions, and design strategic programs that move the needle and transform their organizations to operate successfully at the intersection of business, technology, and customer success. She strives to bring cross-discipline capabilities and provide domain-specific insights on how business and operating model transformations can be envisioned, planned, and deployed at scale. Irrespective of the roles she has played over the years, her goal has always been to drive value-led work for clients through all stages of their innovation, product development, and after-sales service journey, leveraging operational excellence, best practices, and the latest digital technologies. She has served and delivered business outcomes for several Fortune 500 clients across Asia, Europe, and America. She has also defined and developed multiple multi-million dollar revenue generating offerings for Accenture, such as innovation and product development strategy, industry X strategy, and smart connected product design and development. In her current role as Vice President of Capgemini Invent, she is leading the global offering definition and development agenda for smart connected product and platform operations, intelligent electrical vehicle operations, and aftermarket service operations offerings to enable 10x growth of a $100 million business. She is a big proponent of bringing more women into the core engineering and advanced manufacturing sectors for fostering innovation, competitiveness, and economic growth in India. She spends her free time mentoring and coaching young women to pursue a career in STEM sectors. STEM, of course, as you know, is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our guest of honor for today, Miss Ritu Chandra, for her address.
Thank you very much. That was a very kind introduction. Thank you for that. And I think before me we had Haneed, Somain speaking about a lot of common themes that I had in mind, but I'll probably try to give you a very different perspective coming from services industry. I have been serving as an advisor consultant for more than 20 years now across industries. And the key theme is how do we apply technology to the core manufacturing industry. And the interest really started way back when I had a visit to Coca-Cola factory when I was in school. I was pretty excited to see how the assembly line, bottling, the drinks getting filled in the bottle, the cap getting pressed. It was just unimaginable for, like Aneet said, Microsoft, the book, and being the richest man. So to me, the eye-opening thing was, the whole automation in how products, the bottle we have in hand, how all of that gets assembled on a conveyor belt, and that what I get is a drink in a bottle. But there is a lot of technology, a lot of human effort behind it, and how automated it is, right? That getting delivered at scale. So manufacturing was always in my mind when I did my engineering. I also got a fantastic opportunity to visit China. I was a telecom software development in development field at the time, and I was serving Nokia as one of our clients. So I got a chance to visit their phone manufacturing facility in China, and my mind was totally blown away. I mean, we are talking about dark factories, the concept of autonomous factories in India today. We're not even there today, even there. But at the time, in 2004, China was already having the concept of dark factory, pure humanless factory. A lot of robotics being deployed on their assembly lines, on the semiconductor chip manufacturing. That led to the thought of doing my business education from Southeast Asia. I did my MBA from National University of Singapore, and there have been serving strategy and Accenture, and now Capgemini as an advisor to our manufacturing service clients. So my role revolves around bringing the best practices to the core manufacturing sector and help them with the intervention coming from technology. We spoke about a lot of things, right? Haneet already spoke about workforce transformation, data sovereignty, technology ownership here in India. Apart from that, maybe just 2 cents on what we are seeing from a lot of global companies. So across the globe, North America, Europe, even Southeast Asia, customers are getting more and more demanding. When I say customer, I'm talking about customers of my client. If my client is, let's say, an automotive company, then people who buy cars are way more demanding. They have seen 10 minutes delivery. They have seen Spotify. They have experienced those things. So they want data, and they don't want to drive their cars to the mechanics to get those serviced. They want an over-the-air update, taking care of all the interventions related to software enhancement, getting done without even their knowledge. Like I'm sleeping, you update my car, tomorrow I have all the features set up. Similarly, aerospace and defense, discrete manufacturing, everything is changed now. The customers are getting more and more demanding. At the same time, technology is developing at a rapid, fast pace. What in last 3 years, the kind of development we have seen in technology, I don't think we have seen that in last 100 years. It's just unimaginable. Every week you have a new thing you need to learn, and go and advise your client on how to apply that in their field and what value it will deliver for them. Which, as an advisor, you're pretty much always thinking. You lose your sleep of night to just stay relevant to your clients to whom you work as an advisor, right? You need to be probably 10 steps ahead of them, and that puts a lot of pressure on what am I going to say to, let's say, head of R&D of an automotive client tomorrow on what is the impact of AI on his business, what he or she should be doing. So that's happening. Customers are more and more demanding. Tech is truly brutal. Every week you have new things coming out. Now, for a corporate, or the companies your students will be probably joining tomorrow, they need to meet both the expectations. They need to showcase technology leadership, but at the same time make sure that their end customer is getting value for the money they are spending on the products. So that essentially means as a service provider company like a Capgemini or Accenture or PwC, all the three big companies I have served as an advisor, the workforce I have and the P&L I lead, it is very important for me to always stay ahead, to always really be on top of the game. And what is the method to this madness? I just can't be a thinking machine all the time, right? There has to be some sort of framework on how do we advise our client on these topics, what it constitutes, and how do you really make it work. And the framework I really follow is a very simple one, which is we need to define what is the outcome we are delivering for the client. You really start from that. That's the first question. I never go to a client and I speak about, all the big things AI can do for you, or all the liquid expectations your customers have. You just go spend an hour, listen to them very carefully. Like Anil said, questioning, in my field, it's probably listening. I have to listen more, right? First conversation, it's all about art of listening. You listen to them. What's the core problem we are solving here, right? As a business, ultimate goal is to make money, and to make money sustainably in long term. I'm not probably into a business where I'll make money today and after a year I'm gone. So you have to make money for years and years. You have employees you are responsible for, and that essentially means there must be a problem you're trying to solve. Most of the times, that problem can be solved through application of technology. Most, at least today, you want to be more efficient, you want to be more effective in developing your product, delivering your product. Most of the time, AI can solve it. And AI, in my mind, the kind of proof of values we have done in last 5 years, there is probably nothing an AI model can't solve today. You build a good model, it can solve a lot of your problems. There are a lot of dark factories that are running around the world, humanless factories, totally humanless. There is not even a single person on the factory floor, and millions of products get shipped out of that company every month. So AI can solve pretty much all of it, but the problem is, what do we want AI to solve? That's the sense, right? What's the value we need AI to deliver? So you set up guardrails, you listen to your client, nail down the problem. Most of the times, they don't even know. Like Hanif gave that example of a horse and a wheel. Probably if we would not have listened or questioned, we would have still be riding on horses with wheels in our necks, right? So it's better cars was the answer. So the disruptive thinking, listening to your client, nailing down the business problem, and then applying the intervention of technology. That's the key thing. And that to me brings to the next layer of the framework I always apply. How can I solve it? It's not just me. I have 450 people consulting in practice. I'm responsible for learning. And all of them need to follow this mental model. And the mental model of execution is you need to be outcome driven. And that should start way ahead. I have a lot of new joiners joining in my team every month, joining from B schools, fresh grads. And first 6 months, they're always struggling because in their colleges, they have not really cared about outcome. There is no outcome, right? You do a case study, you do maybe some sort of simulation, you deliver a project, your job is done. But when you go, in my field, when you, let's say, join a consulting practice or a consulting industry, the client won't even tell you what you need to deliver or the task you need to do. You're the advisor. You're paid big money to help them solve a business problem. And that's a mindset shift which probably needs to happen much before a person joins industry. I call this framework as an outcome-driven mindset. Basically, you care more and more about outcome. You make sure you have heard to the client. You have questioned the client from multiple directions. You nail down what is the value at stake, what is the value I'm going to deliver to you after an exercise of, let's say, 3 to 6 months. And Then you do all the backward planning. Then you do all the technology interventions. So my main mandate now, like I have worked with a lot of American and European clients, fantastic progress when it comes to application of AI on core manufacturing sector. But now the new mandate is to make sure that India is at par. Our manufacturing sector is booming, but I don't think we are that efficient and effective. We are still a blue collar, worker led country, which means we do have a lot of workforce. But the problem is, if we continue relying on our workforce, we are not going to make progress on technology. There are people, no doubt about it. That's our biggest strength. But these people must be doing high value work, not the low value work. And that's where we need to apply technology. We need to move up the ladder. As a human being, I think there is more merit in high order thinking, whichever organization we work for. And basis, what I have learned in India, we can do this. Like you said, we are so set in copying rather than innovating. But in the university, when the students are at the cusp of just entering the corporate, make sure that they develop high order thinking skills, right? They're not just embracing what's being said, but they have critical thinking, high order thinking skills. They are set for success when it comes to embracing high value work, not really being happy with the low value work. That all of that will be taken over by tech. There is absolutely no question about it. But that doesn't mean there are less job opportunities. In fact, there are more, right? I need more people. It's not an FT game more, but I need more people, but those people need to be skilled, highly skilled people. All of the automation can be taken care by tech. But yeah, that's what I would really suggest. Absolutely happy to see how can I share my experience with students who would want to enter into consulting after their management education, and what's the framework, how should they be thinking, what should they be taking up as some of the projects, and how to really execute those projects before they enter the industry. Thank you for inviting and giving me time. Absolutely happy to continue the dialogue as we go forward.
Thank you, Ritu ma'am, for sharing your insights about consulting and the kind of work that youngsters can aspire to do, also from an artificial intelligence perspective. So thank you so much for sharing those insights. Of course, talking to students, we would for sure reach out to you and seek your guidance for our students in the times. Thank you so much for your talk today. Okay, may I now request all the dignitaries present, the Dean of Faculty of Management, Vikas sir, Head of Department of Faculty of Management, Vinod sir, as well as Convener Shreya ma'am and Co-Convener Ashima ma'am, kindly come forward for unveiling of the conference souvenir. Kindly come forward. Yeah, also request Ravindra Shukla sir to kindly come forward. Ritu ma'am, Hardeep sir, Nikhil sir, Arvind sir, Deepak sir. Thank you all. I would now like to invite the Director of CDOE, which stands for Center for Distance and Online Education of Vivekananda Global University, Dr. Arvind Kumar Singh sir, for sharing his insights. Sir, please.
Thank you very much, sir. On behalf of Center for Distance and Online Education, Vivekananda Global University, I extend very hard welcome to all the dignitaries present here, Anish Singh sir, Ritu ma'am, Patron sir, Chairperson sir, and all the co-faculty members. Basically, the role of any academic institution is not to impart only the academic knowledge. It's also about to dwelling the issues of industry, and faculty of the management department has taken that initiative with SIPAM 2.0, where we are talking about sustainability, innovation, and the practices which can be imparted by the management practitioners in future. And till now, what I can say, the conference is serving its purpose, whether it's the inaugural keynote speaker session about research or the motivating session by Harneet ji or Ritu Chandra ma'am or our patron sir, chairperson sir. Everybody has talked about some insight, though we have to follow this thing. Next time onward, we must invite our students to attend these sessions, though we have broadcasted it to YouTube. Later stage they can see it, but always give them experience of life to hear something from the people who have done so far. And I am also going to take few statements from this place that one should know how to ask right question with right people and right intent. When we started Center for Distance and Online Education in Vivekananda Global University, the intent of university was to provide not only education but quality education on very affordable prices. And that was the mantra of ours, that the knowledge which we have with us as a university, why not to spread that knowledge among learners who are sitting at very remote areas, and somewhere down the line they are not able that kind of fortune where they have all the facilities to get quality education. So that was the basic goal of the university. We started in 2022-23 with 3 programs, 200 odd learners. Right now we have more than 16,000 proud learners who are studying with Center for Distance and Online Education in Vivekananda Global University with 9 online programs and 5 distance learning programs. And when we talk about sustainability, it is very important that all the resources which we are harnessing these days, they should not somewhere down the line kill the future needs. Like I am very much inspired by the words Harneet ji has mentioned here. Is whatever they thought of as a rabbit AI 3 years back, now government is realizing right now. Similarly, this is an opportunity for all of us also. Through that online and distance education, we can serve so many different problems of the society, calling people like you to come into our online sessions, address the crowd and work upon the various ideas. Our purpose is just to democratizing the quality education, imparting the good knowledge. We use one of the university who focus lot about AI. We become Rajasthan first Google AI agentic university. But again, the thought which occurs from today's discussion, now why not we are developing our own models? Why we are sharing our data with others? So we can think of that. We can have those students in our university who are working about, we've always talked about large language model, but there could be a language model which is smaller, which can be fit in your device also. So these are the insight. I think in this conference we are going to have so many good insight through the research paper, and we are going to publish those researches also in future and try to take the benefit of this research. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Arvind sir. Can we have a round of applause for Arvind sir, please? It's time for me to invite Nikhil Nigam sir, who is the Chief Technology Officer of Vivekananda Global University. Nikhil sir.
Respected all the delegates, sirs, very good afternoon. Namaste. I'll just take 2-3 minutes because I believe everything has been spoken over here. And Hani sir, Ritu ma'am, you have delivered a lot, much what I have expected and what I have witnessed while I was with the IT Delhi also in the workshop when Hani sir invited me over there. I just wanted to present the vision of Onkar sir over here when we're talking about VGU and we are talking about AI and all. I was telling you about these things. So his vision is to bring in technology, end-to-end technologies. We are tied up with Google and we are also collaborating with other big corporates, industry leaders. So the vision is to bring end-to-end technology, make the university digitized and automated. With this, we are also incorporating AI not only in academics, but also we are thinking about when the students are selecting the courses, right? So what is that factor that helps them to select the course that can make them future ready? Because they are not in a position to think about which technology will be there 5 years down the line or 4 years down the line when they are going to graduate from here. It is so fast paced emerging technologies that is changing. So these things are being thought upon with the help of AI. The second use case that I would like to tell that Harni sir, that as you told that AI has been used for HR. In my previous organization over here also we are using it not only in HR, like we are thinking about to get into admissions, right? So when the interviews are being conducted, it should be fair play over there. So when you are interviewing the candidate to be selected over there, right, candidate has to be selected as per the merits for the defined particular programming course. So over there also these technologies are being used. So there will be a lot of discussions that will be taking ahead offline also, and I would like to thank you all of you for giving the time over here and the opportunity to me to come over here for 2 minutes to speak out, and wishing all the very best to the SIPAM committee, faculty of management, and thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Nikhil sir. We have come almost to the end of the inaugural session of SIPAM 2.0. I would now like to request the convener of the conference, Dr. Shreya Mathur ma'am, to kindly come over here for vote of thanks. Round of applause, please.
Thank you, sir. So, good afternoon all. As we mark the beginning of our inaugural session of our international conference SIPAM 2.0 Sustainability, Innovation, Practices and Advancements in Management. So it's my privilege to extend my gratitude here to all the stakeholders of the SIPAM 2.0. First and foremost, my sincere thanks to the leadership of our esteemed institute, VGU, Dr. Lalit Pawar sir, Chairperson VGU, Shri Ahmad Kanedia sir, Patron VGU, Malvika ma'am, Registrar sir, sir, your support, unwavering support, encouragement, and visionary leadership. It helped us to create academic platforms and conferences like SIPA. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. A very special thanks to Professor Cleopatra and Somi Natri sir, who, despite his demanding schedule, took the time to join us virtually. Thanks, sir. Thank you, ma'am. I express my heartfelt gratitude to Harneet sir. Sir, after many conversations and I can say persistent efforts that enables us to bring you in SIPAM 2.0, and thanks to Nikhil sir who make it possible. And sir, you are here with us and today we are really enlightened and you gave some new insights and knowledge. Thank you so much, sir. A warm thanks to Miss Ritu ma'am. Ma'am, your academic excellence and your commitment and your dedication plus your knowledge deeply honored. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. To all our distinguished speakers, dignitaries, delegates, researchers, and academicians who joined this conference in person and virtually, and who are the integral part of the SIPAM 2.0. Thank you so much. So as we move forward with the conference, so let us continue to engage in meaningful discussion, exchange innovative ideas, and build collaborations that contribute to sustainable growth and responsible management practices. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shreya ma'am. May I now request everyone to rise for the national anthem. मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाए तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे. Kindly take your seats. We'll now break for lunch. After lunch, from 2 p.m. onwards, there will be 4 parallel sessions where research papers will be presented on various themes as follows in this particular building, in the academic block itself. Session number 1, which is on AI for sustainable and responsible value creation, is in the seminar hall on the first floor. Session number 2, which is on sustainable and responsible financial systems, ESG integration, governance and innovation for long-term value creation, is in the AV room, which is this room itself. Session number 3, which is leadership in the digital age, is in the boardroom, which is on the ground floor of this building. And session number 4, which is on technology and innovation management system, is in lecture theatre 316, which is on the 3rd floor near the lift. We now request everyone present here to please join us for lunch. I think we've had food for thought. It's time to have real food. And the lunch is arranged in the faculty lounge, which is on the ground floor near the lift. Okay. Thank you all once again and have a nice day. Okay, Shreya ma'am has communicated a very good news, and that's about a group photo. So before we go for lunch, we'll have a group photo on the ground floor near the stairs. Okay, opposite to the reception, there are stairs. We'll have a group photo there. So let's all proceed there. After the group photo, we'll proceed for lunch to faculty lounge. Thank you, Shreya ma'am. Any other announcements? Okay, thank you. Thank you all. Bye-bye. Bye. Have a good day.